Folks, Junior 2000 here coming at you with a defending sequel review. And I do like sequels. I know there's times people don't like sequels, don't like prequels. I don't like remakes. That's the thing I have problems with. Like 9 out of 10, I don't like the remakes that much. But there are some few good ones that I do enjoy. But this is a defending sequel review of people consider one of the worst sequels of all time, which I think is fucking bullshit, is Highlander 2, the Renegade version, or as they call it, the Highlander 2, the Quickening. But this is the Renegade version. This DVD sucks ass. I want to find that special edition one where it has a menu and it has more special features because this DVD sucks ass. It is an old Artisan DVD, but it doesn't even have the Artisan logo that opens the movie. It's a Republican DVD, and it has one of the most cheap ass DVD menus, man. Like it's just like the Republican picture logo on the screen, covered in brown shit. It looks like it's covered in brown shit, and the movie, like, there's like no picture of the movie on there, like no picture of Highlander. At least this faded picture of Christopher Lambert on it. No, I guess because they thought the movie sucked. That's fine. Which I don't deserve. This movie does not deserve all the hate that it got. I think the reason why people thought this movie sucked, for many reasons, is because they probably had seen, like, oh, the way they changed the issues with the rebooted way on and on. I actually don't care how they changed this movie. I actually like this movie, and it's a defending movie review. And in my opinion, I kind of like this movie better than the first one. And I know many people may disagree, but I had more fun with this movie. It's because the main issue that I had with the first movie, the relationship with the Highlander and the Roxanne Hart character that she plays in, like, a forensic files lady, that love connection didn't really feel that great. I like the love connection with him and Virginia Madison in this one better. And she's pretty good in the movie. Virginia Madison, she's a good actress. She was in Candyman, the first one, and she was in other movies like The Rainmaker and The Haunting Connecticut, many other great movies. But yeah, she's pretty good in this movie. And Sean Connery comes back as Ramirez, which he has more screen time in this movie, and it was cool to see him back. I thought it was kind of fucked up when they killed him off with having his head get decapitated by Kurgan and Connor not being there to save him. Like, that was fucked up in my opinion, for to see that character get out that way. It felt depressing, but he does get out in a more better way in this movie. But on Highlander 2, which, for example, like, this is the Renegade version. I bet probably people didn't see this version. They probably thought they saw the theatrical version. That sucked ass, because that version sucks. It's on YouTube, the theatrical version. It's a bad version. But I want to find the special edition because it has a menu, a good menu, and it has special features on a 2 disc set. And it's like the same Renegade version, but more remastered and stuff, with picture quality and sound and also graphics that they change in the movie. But all in all, it does have a featurette, but this DVD is it's a cheap fucking DVD. Like, it's not that great. But yeah, this movie is really good. A lot of people say this was one of the worst sequels. Like, have they not seen Highlander 5? Because I ranted on that stinking piece of shit. Highlander 5, The Source. Because that movie sucked ass. And you're gonna tell me that this is one of the worst sequels of all time? Like, fuck that. This movie's more entertaining than that piece of shit Highlander 5, which I think I have it over here, but on fuck that piece of shit Highlander 5 movie. This movie is really good. I never understood the hate that it got, saying that it's one of the worst sequels. I have seen some real piece of shit sequels, and I have seen like sequels that suck ass. Like Nightmare on Elm Street 5. I think that movie sucks ass. Halloween 5, I think was a piece of shit at times. It had some decent moments, but I think it was a piece of shit movie. Excuse me, folks. But yeah, Halloween 5 was a piece of shit. I hate the way they killed Rachel and they made Jamie a mute, and then yet that annoying ass Tina character that fucking irritated me in the movie. Ugh, hated Tina. She was one of the worst Halloween characters. She was very unlikable too. Fuck Tina in Halloween 5. Yeah, you had some other piece of shit sequels out there. Um, Halloween Ends, which I can't wait to rant on that son of a bitch. I I hate Halloween Ends. This movie can kick that movie's ass in my opinion, because fuck Halloween Ends. I was more entertained with this shit. Halloween Ends was a piece of shit, boring motherfucking movie. This movie was more fucking entertaining and more violent than Halloween Ends. This movie was more fucking extreme than Halloween Ends. But yeah, there's a review of Highlander 2, the Quickening. I enjoy this movie. And the only reason I liked this better than the first is because I thought the pacing was better. I thought it was cool to have Sean Connery have more screen time as Ramirez and more interaction with Christopher Lambert's Connor McLeod's character, where they both had great chemistry as being friends. I thought the love story with Christopher Lambert's Connor McLeod and having relationship with Virginia Madsen's character, that relationship was better in this movie than him and Roxanne Hart in the first one. But yeah, this movie's about them seeing which one will go to Earth in the present, future, and but you're not gonna be immortal no more. So they chose Connor McLeod, and he goes there, and then he has his years to be spent. Of course, his wife died from this virus disease, with many people dying from it. After he tried to do like this Apollo experiment on the Earth gravity and stuff, but it made like this red shit come over and covered the world and made it like a dystopian world. The movie kind of has like a Blade Runner dystopian world, which is so cool. Like any movie that sets like that is pretty awesome. I know like the District 9 movies, like those are great movies, and that sets the world like that with those dystopian settings in the future. Highlander 2 does have that setting, and Christopher Lambert's character, Connor McLeod, now he's in the present and he's already old and he's getting into his dying age where he can't really continue as a Highlander. He's dying. But one leads to another. You get this villain that's played by Michael Ironside, who's a funny villain in this movie. Michael Ironside is fun in this movie as the bad guy. I forgot his name, but he is funny in this movie. He's probably like the funniest villain that I like to see in the movie. And he sets his two posses to go after Christopher Lambert, but Christopher Lambert kicks one of their asses, decapitates them, gets their source into him, and regenerates himself into his 40-year-old age as Connor McLeod. Now he doesn't feel old, he doesn't feel weak of fighting. Now he's back as the Highlander, kicking ass, taking no names like a motherfucker. And yeah, and he also kicks the other one's ass in a funny ass way where I think he jumpercates him so he could decapitate his head and take the sword. But there was like this funny ass moment where he decapitates him, and then the guy's like his body's like this with his wasp wings or some shit, and flying into the air like, and then he explodes. But before that, Christopher Lambert was on a hoverboard, which is so cool. Hoverboard that Marty McFly flies from Back to the Future 2, which I would like to review that trilogy one day. That's a great trilogy. But yeah, and then of course Christopher Lambert meets up with Virginia Madsen. They start having to talk to each other. And yeah, I like the relationship between him and Virginia Madsen's love relationship in the movie better than the one in the first one. I don't know. I just feel like she's a good actress, Virginia Madsen, and I feel like this one was a better move. This one had the better relationship with, um for Connor McLeod. He even explains that to her that he's a Highlander and she's not like being such a stuck up like, oh, I'm freaking out who you are. No, she's cool with it, and she's kind of like a rebel character because she kind of steals like, or in the movie she steals like this chip or some shit about some virus power or something. I don't know what it is, but I think it's the power to shut the red shit air down and stuff. But one leads to another. Now they know that Connor has his powers back. They sent Ramirez into the prison, like the same thing as Christopher Lambert's at. But they sent him into the wrong area. They didn't send him to where Christopher Lambert's at. They sent him to Scotland in a stage play, and then some asshole like he doesn't know what the play is. He doesn't even know what that is at all. He's like so Ramirez is like so confused until like the actor's like cursing him out, and then Ramirez cursing back at him like "fuck you, asshole" or something. I would imagine saying like that, like "fuck you, dick" or something. But like Ramirez was so cool to come back. I thought it kind of sucked when they killed him off in the first one. I thought it was depressing. But he gets to like go to the store, get fancy clothes, sell his jewelry instead of like paying money. He gives him the fancy jewelry that were worth a lot of money, and also getting a jet back to where Christopher Lambert's at so he can meet with him. Michael Einstein notices that his posses have gone kill, so he got pissed off, and you know what? I'm gonna go by myself and kill the Highlander myself because these fucking idiots fucked up and didn't kill him. So he goes there, and Michael Ironside is one crazy ass character in this movie. He goes into this train station like after he gets transported from the Highlander world into a train station subway, and he starts scaring everybody, and then he kicks out the conductor and puts the train into maximum overdrive into 500 miles per an hour speed, and he's like not giving a fuck. And of course he's immortal. He's immortal. He's not even gonna get killed. But everybody's like flying in the back and slamming their faces and their bodies into the metal walls of the subway, and whoa. And he crashes through a wall because it went real fast and crashes throughout the wall into a building, and you can tell Michael Ironside is having fun with the role as a bad guy. And he has a funny moment with a taxi jackass dude where I think like the dude thinks like, oh, you look cool, man. Yeah, I want to be a musician, but I'm a fucking taxi driver. And then he stabs like his sword into the window or something, and the guy goes, "Whoa, dude, what the hell?" And then Michael Ironside goes all GTA, like beating up the taxi driver's car, like breaking his headlights and breaking his window. Like that was cool to see, like a little GTA moment where I used to do that in the GTA games. I would beat up people's car, and they'd get all pissed off coming out of the car. But yeah, that was cool. Michael Ironside looked like he's having fun with the villain role. And of course, you get John C. McGinley's in the movie too. I forgot him. He's in the movie too. He plays like this executive business boss guy that's just a dickhead and stuff. And he does have like some dickish lines where he's just such an asshole in this movie. Where he's an asshole to Christopher Lambert. He's an asshole to his friend. He throws him in jail. His poor friend gets tossed into jail and all beat up. But John C. McGinley, even though he tries to have a business work relationship with Michael Ironside's character, Michael Ironside says, "I don't give a fuck about you," and he grabs his nuts and crushes shit and throws him out of the window. Like, dude, Michael Ironside is one violent villain in this movie, and also fucking entertaining. But Sean Connery goes on to meet with Connor, and both Ramirez and Connor have like a really fun practice sword fight, and then he gets to see Virginia Madison. Sean Connery's character Ramirez gets to meet Virginia Madison in the movie, and they have like good talks to each other, and yeah, they decide to like they notice his Christopher Lambert's friend got thrown into a maximum prison. They want to take him out and save him, but when they get there, they had to like get into a diversion where they got shot and shoot out by these guards and SWAT people that are guarding the place, and you got this practical effects. Like this motherfucking movie used practical effects, not CGI, not fake bullshit. Violent, like that part was very vicious and violent, where they get this shootout, bunch of blood squirts coming out of their chest and their neck and their faces, and dude, that shit was fucking carnage and bloody as fuck. And of course, they take Virginia Madsen out of the trunk. She said some funny ass line, but it was like the movie is pretty funny too. I have to admit, it has some funny moments, but it's not like full on comedy. But yeah, I do enjoy this movie, and of course they have the diversion where they get back up, they shoot the guards, they have Virginia go with them, and now they're looking through the facility to find the guy, his friend that got arrested, and he does find his friend, but he tells him that about some secret code or something for this thing that he needs to do to get rid of the red air sky that looks like shit. And of course, his friend dies after telling him because he got all fucked up and beat up and looked like he is dying. So he did die in the movie and says goodbye to his friend. And then, of course, he meets up with Ramirez in a building that he accidentally got locked in, but they go into the building too, and that locked them in too. And they're about to get killed by this flying this fan thing that's about to cut them. But Ramirez has a badass moment where he says, "I'll hold this up, and you guys get out. You have done your job, Highlander. I have done my job, Highlander. Now it's your turn to take down the bad guy. It's been good to be friends with you, Connor McLeod." And then he saves Christopher Lambert and Virginia Madsen in the movie, and it was such a badass moment, man. Like that was fucking cool. He holds the fan for them to get out of there, and then he lets go of the fan, and the fan crushes him and destroys. And it does kill him, but he does die in a sacrificing way, whereas he dies in a badass way. He saved his friend. He saved his friend Connor and his girlfriend Virginia Madison, and on and on. Yeah, that was cool. It wasn't like, oh, depressing or something the way he dies. No, he died in a badass way. And they even had this bagpipe rock beat music that played in the background. Like it's kind of like a triumphant music, like redemption music. Like it's so fucking badass. The music is good too. But that was such a badass moment for Ramirez to have a badass sacrificing death scene, saving Christopher Lambert and Virginia Madsen. Yeah, that was such a badass scene. And I never understood what the fuck was bad about that. That was such a badass scene. That was better than how he died in the first movie. And of course, Michael Ironside is after them. He get away, and then Michael Ironside kills John C. McGinn. They throw his ass out, crushing his nuts. And then Michael Ironside meets up with Christopher Lambert, and both Connor and him, Michael Ironside, they have a sword fight, and some of the sword fights are pretty good in practical effects. You even get like more looking of the sword fight, like it looks more screen time, like you get more screen time to that. Like really cool practical effects with sword fights. Like it's not CGI or some shit. I think the sword fights in the Source movie was fucking CGI because a lot of them look like fake CGI swords or some shit. But fuck that movie up his ass. That movie stinks. But Highlander 2 ends with them fighting. Christopher Lambert takes no names, kicks motherfucking ass, and decapitates Michael Ironside. takes his powers, his swords, and then yeah, makes his redemption to like find this thing to make it locked and make his powers go through and unlock and defeat and take out this red airship that surrounds the earth and make the world a dystopian world. And yeah, that helped to make the world look clear, and now they can see the sky and the cloud and the stars in the air. And then Virginia Madsen and Christopher Lambert get to like share one romance kiss, and then Sean Connery Ramirez has a really awesome line at the end about the Highlander and everything being the source and being the one. There can be only one. Really good speech by Sean Connery's voice at the end of the movie, and then you get a really cool song, really good rock song at the end. And yeah, this movie kicked ass. I never understood what the fuck was bad about this movie. Like, you're gonna tell me that this is worse than Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, The Initiation. You're gonna tell me this is worse than Children of the Corn and Children of the Corn Revelation. You're gonna tell me this is worse than Scream 5 and 6. No, fuck that shit. This movie kicks those movies' asses, in my opinion. This is even more entertaining than Scream 6. Fuck that Scream 6 boring shit. This movie was never boring to me. I thought this was great. I know some people may disagree that I liked it better than the first movie, but it's everybody's opinions and to each their own. But I think this movie was fucking good. I liked it more than the first one. But I still like the first movie. Like, these ones are the best ones. Like, these ones kick ass. I don't know what's bad about this movie. I don't know why this one's considered a piece of shit or anything. That's bullshit. This movie kicks ass. It kicks all those bad sequels' asses, in my opinion. And I can't wait to rant on that piece of shit Halloween Ends. That's coming soon, folks. Don't worry. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, this movie, I defended being a really badass sequel. And I liked it more than the first one. But I still respect the first one. I do like the first one. Like, these are the two Highlander movies that are the best in the series. Fuck that Highlander 5 source piece of shit. That movie stinks like ass. Fuck that movie up his ass. But this movie is a badass sequel. Highlander 2, The Quickening. Have a good day, everybody. Hit the like, subscribe, and take care, folks. Bye-bye.